And I'm back in the shop, obviously. Here's a video I didn't want to make at all. And a few talking points and topics, scenarios. What would you have done in this situation? I can't believe that I was in this situation, but as a retailer, I suppose it's going to happen at some point. Not to this extent. As you'll probably see in the title, I've had to ban a customer, a long-standing customer of the shop, customer from day one. Yeah, from the first time we opened, 2 years, every week comes in. But I will no longer be doing business with this person. Here's the situation. Last Saturday, it's currently on Sunday, so last Saturday, I recently came into possession, collection come in. It was a briefcase full of promos. I'm not sure where this video is going to be in the timeline of other videos that I've made in the past, but I have spoken very shortly about this in previous videos. I've had a stack of promos come in a briefcase, amongst other things, but the standout pieces was the promos in this old briefcase. And I've had a problem. Well, yeah, I have had the problem. A dealer, a trader, customer of the shop, came in last Saturday, and I was pricing them up. When you're pricing promos, you gotta be careful, because for one, there wasn't that many made. So I go off 3 price points when I'm pricing any record. Generally, it's Discogs. It gives me a general average price. Then it's eBay, complete and sold listings. And last but not least, PopSpsych. PopSpsych goes back. PopSpsych gives you history of years worth of history. And the history, it gets the Discogs and eBay completed listings, so it's giving you more of a general, you can, if it's a rare record especially, PopPsych is the best tool to use. So I'm pricing the records based on these 3 tools, based on what is available to buy right now. Some of them aren't available to buy. They're not on eBay, they're not on Discogs. So how do you get a price? You wanna try and, because you control the market on that item, you can ask what you want to ask, because you've got the only one. And obviously if you aim high with offers, you should get something in the region to what you're after. So dealer comes into the shop on Saturday and prices the records. He's like, ooh, these records are exactly what he looks for. So he's like, want that. And there's a bit of a stack build, and I'm thinking, ooh, this ain't gonna be cheap. It's not gonna be cheap. So right, some of it was priced, some of it was like £5 and £6, fine. Some of it I had to do a little bit more time, take my time, a bit more research involved. But I still done it. I didn't do it as quick as didn't do it as slow. If I was doing it on eBay, I'd take my time, because someone's in the shop, I'm doing it a bit faster, making quicker decisions on stuff. So even the prices I put, probably even lower than what they should be. But anyway, the total cost of the stack come to according to me, this is my price, they're my items, this is what I want for them, £1,250. Because he's a regular, because he's a dealer, done him a discount. I said, okay, I'll do it for £900. First of all, he said, don't price them, I'll give you £400. I was like, nah. One of the records in there is worth £300. According to my pricing, I think it's worth 300, and I think I can get 300. So I said, nah. And this is where the kind of, I feel like the wool was trying to be pulled over my eyes a little bit. Like, don't bother, don't do that. I'll give you £400. £400 is a lot of money. But I'm like, no. Let me price them up. I'll tell you what I want. I'll tell you what I really, really want. There's no Spice Girls in there. I said 900. He come back and said, because it's a lot of money, 800. I was like, yeah, it is a lot of money. 800 quid. I could pay the rent with that. Nuneaton rent is due 23rd of June. I thought, that's the rent done for the quarter. No more rent to pay until the 23rd of September. So I'm thinking, for the small stack that's there, do the deal. I agreed at 800. He paid his price, shook hands, which is even more important. The deal was done and we shook hands on it. No spittle was involved. I thought, what a day. We've just had the best day in the shop, because that wasn't just the only sales, and that plus Nuneaton, it was a really good, unbelievable day. Money went into the account, sent the money over to Nuneaton rent, and that was it. Start the next week with a weight off my shoulders. It's a great feeling when you're able to achieve that and have a little bit left over. And then Tuesday's the next day that we open. I get a message from Simon, who works in the shop. The guy that bought the records on Saturday, he wants to return all of the records. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he wants to return all the records because he believes that he's overpaid. And that just like knocked me for six. I just like, what is going on? Is that real? I thought he's joking. Nah, he's joking. Like, he's messing around, like, you know, he wouldn't do that. But he was serious. He came to the shop with all the records, and all the records were there in the same condition. So before people say, oh, you've got to make sure, and a lot of people saying, oh, you want to make sure that he hasn't taken anything. He hasn't taken anything out. All the records are there. He believes he's overpaid for them. Now, this person is an old school dealer in records. He goes by the book. The record collector's price guide. He's got the most up-to-date version, 2023. I think they call it 2024 for some reason, but he's got the most up-to-date version of the Bible for record dealers. And he's cross-referenced everything he bought to the book, and he believes he's overpaid and he wants to return everything. There's a few things about the book. The book is absolute rubbish. Like, if you're getting into records, do not look at the book. You can compare it to how antiquated antiquated. I think that's the word. It's out of date within an instant. They say they get their prices from eBay, Discogs, record fairs, record shops, which is absolute rubbish. Experts in the industry, they say, in the book. Now, you're telling me that if I sold a record in this shop for £100, £200, £500, whatever the price was, how would they know? Unless I phoned them and say, oh, I sold a record, £500. You're going to update your book. Rubbish. Because then the next record shop in the next city or town could sell one for 600 the next week. One thing in the book which they do say is you cannot put a price on a second-hand record. The price is what the person is prepared to pay. Prices can go up in value and down in value, and especially when there is high demand for an item in an auction, for example, and it will go for way more than the book value because maybe 2 or 3 people want the same item and they will pay whatever they can afford to get the item. So this was the situation I'm in. And when it dawned on me, this is actually happening, I thought, okay, I'm a retailer. I've got, he bought it in store. I don't really have a choice well, there is a choice. The choice is because there was literally nothing wrong with the records. It was a change of mind. Then by rights, I can offer a £800 voucher for the shop. But what would happen is, 800 quid, right? I'll have everything off the wall. Take it, right? Go through here. I'll have that. Do you know what I mean? Stock would be decimated. I can't have that. So I said there will be a full refund and it will be here in 7 days. Because like I said, the money's gone. I have got to find the money from somewhere. So luckily the shops were very good on Saturday. But that means that excellent day's worth of sales and trade in Hall Green and Nuneaton, a red brick will be paid out on Tuesday. I'll never know what that is gone, to be given back to someone who made an error, who goes by the book. I mean, what should have happened is, there's my stack. There's a lot of money we're talking about, so put that to one side for me. Yeah, not a problem. I'm going to come back in on Tuesday and I'm going to give you my price. Now, I think his price was like £500. It would have been an instant no. I have listed them records onto eBay, and when I've looked into some of the records, I've actually listed them some a lot higher than what I actually sold them for. So yeah, there's no the price that he wanted in the book was absolutely no way he was gonna get. The other thing about the book, every single one of the records that were bought were promos and demos. Okay, one thing the book doesn't state, it just gives you the price of the record which was distributed to everyone. As an example, there was a record in there, Paul Vigrass Stop. In the book, it says it's worth £8, but that is just for the standard copy, the copy that was distributed and was able to buy in the shops. I had a promo copy. I sold it for £87. That goes to show you how different. I mean, for that person to want them at the book value when we're not even talking about the same record, again, it's just, it's hard for me to process. This is someone who's been dealing with records probably for longer than I've been alive, and this is how he treats people. This is how he does his business. People can do business however they want to do business, but don't start messing with my business, because I can't deal with people like that. So you come back in the shop Thursday, and I told him, is this what you want to do? Return? He was like, yeah. I said, okay, money will be back in 7 days. My reputation isn't going to be tarnished. You know, I know a lot of people in the comments are saying, oh, I would not have refunded him. Da, 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 da. I've still got a reputation that I want to upkeep. So my name will still have a good standing. In my opinion, from what's happened, the person that I'm dealing with, reputation is seriously in question. Would anyone deal with this person knowing what's happened? So the refund will be here in 7 days. And by the way, you're banned from the shop. I will not be dealing with you anymore. I will not be selling you any more records, whether it's here, Nuneaton, anywhere. And yeah, he was gutted. You know, for the small amount of records that he buys on a weekly basis, it's a supply line. You might know him. Yeah, be careful. If you do have any dealings with him, don't, in my opinion. You never know. What if he makes a mistake with you? I said to him, oh, well, if someone went to your stall at the record fair, bought 800 quid worth of stuff, 2 hours later comes back saying, oh, I want to refund it. Do you think he's going to refund it? He said, well, it's happened to me before. I'm like, well, do you think it's right? And we're not talking about 800 quid. You know, people returning stuff because some things might be warped or it might not play properly. I ain't got a problem. It's not a problem. It's the fact that he's made a mistake. I have made mistakes buying records. I think, there's a few times I've overpaid here. I've overpaid. That's my fault. Do you think I'm going to run back to the person? Oh, I need a refund. I think I've overpaid. Absolute rubbish. Take it like a man. Or woman. You know, learn from your mistakes. This guy has been in the industry for years. Come on, you're telling me that he might not have the book, which is his Bible. It goes to show you that people don't know everything. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing what you're doing, you don't know everything. Because things are changing all the time. And that's why you shouldn't go off a printed book that was probably printed last year, but all of a sudden there's a mod and a beat revival and prices are going through the roof and auction prices are going crazy. But you're prepared to sell and buy things by the book value. You could be losing hundreds, if not thousands. Yeah. Be careful. And it's taught me a lesson. You know, when you sell a high value item on eBay, I sold that £700 record before. I think I got a bit complacent because when you're dealing with someone that you know, you're not really expecting them to come back 3 or 4 days later saying, I want my money back. On eBay thinking, oh God, better not spend the money until I get the feedback and everything's okay, it's been delivered. But yeah, it's taught me a lesson. Although the deal's done and the hands have been shook, just wait a bit. Just wait a bit. There's people I deal with, I definitely know that wouldn't happen. I just know it. Yeah, but lesson learned. Customer banned. £800 has to be found to repay the record, to repay this guy. If I was you and you buy records, I would not buy from him. Yeah, what more can I say? It's just like I said, I didn't want to have to do this video ever. You know, banning someone from the shop. You know, it's like I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face, but this is serious money. 800 quid is a lot of money. I cannot deal with people. How can you trade with someone and do business with someone that would do that? Made a mistake. Overpaid. Oh. Anyway, I think I've resolved. I think I've sorted the money situation anyway. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and just be careful who you deal with. See you in a bit.